It was September 13th, 1982. I went for an airplane ride, and we ended up in a flat spin, 7,000 feet to the ground. Busted my leg, went through my femur. They did put a pin in my leg and my femur. And then a year later, I was still growing, so it hurt, and they took it out. So that was, but even at that time, the doctor said, "Oh, when you get older, you're gonna have arthritis and you're gonna have problems." And so here we are today, cured of those problems. So it was a long adventure getting here. I was online. I've been online for the last 6 months looking to try to find a place that was quote unquote transparent pricing. Essentially something I could afford, being self-insured. And I was corresponding with Mexico. I was corresponding with India. I was corresponding with anybody that was even in a price range that I could look at. And my wife and I had so much money saved up, and we said, okay. And we were willing to go to Mexico, is what it turned out to be. We were looking at, okay, the prices were, less than 20 grand, and I get a new hip, but in my opinion, it's a pretty risky move when you leave your own country, and we could stay in the States. We will try to do that. Well, it turns out that that they're basically equal with Mexico, and as far as the pricing goes. And between that and the demeanor on the phone, I'd looked up everything you could absolutely look up about Dr. Delcore, and he actually has a fantastic reputation. And Dr. Delcore and this whole staff has been amazing, but we didn't even have half a clue of how amazing it was till we got here. This whole town, these people, doctor took us out to dinner. I mean, we feel like family, They can all come up to Alaska. Please, come up. Let me show you around. I would love to have every one of them. It's just, every experience I've had here is so far and above any hospital, any surgeries, anything I've ever experienced, that it's phenomenal. It really is. And it's very empowering, and for those people out there that, are self-insured, that want quality care and don't want to leave the country, I couldn't imagine anything. I couldn't imagine this when I got here. I don't know how he does it. I have no clue. Runs this, and is an active member of the community through the church and everything else that he does, and treats his patients like their family. He's an extraordinary man. He really is. And the staff that he's put around him is incredible. So I've never experienced anything like that. Everybody here is gentle, kind, and they care. And he's extremely polite. And, I felt empowered. I felt like, okay, we can do this. I didn't have to go spend a whole bunch of money just to find out what we already knew was going to happen. And in the doctor shuffle nowadays, that's kind of what they do. So he's revising the way things are done medically, and should be that way. With transparent pricing, it's going to cost this to get this, unless we have complications. It's going to be this on my end, but I don't know what the other guy's going to do, yada, 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 and everybody and their brothers got their hand out. And there's another one. I'm not in a hospital. The infection rate is 0. There's not sick people here. I didn't come here sick. I came here injured. So fix the injury, but don't make me sick in the process, please. And so that was another, when you go to a foreign country, well, they're doing it in a hospital. So you can get cheap flights into Vegas, from no matter where you are in the world. It's kind of convenient having here. My son and I came in 2 days prior to checking in here. We stayed in Vegas. We went on the zip line. We enjoyed ourselves for not a lot of money. Even the plane tickets weren't that expensive because they're cheap going to Vegas. You get a rental car, you bop over here. It's a 2.25 hour drive. You know, when you're done, when it's Sunday, we're gonna go back to Vegas, spend one more night in Vegas. Monday morning, I'm catching a plane home. It's pretty convenient. You know, it's and not that expensive, you know, for anybody that is self-insured and doesn't have a lot of money and wants to feel better, wants to heal, you know, but can't afford it at other rates, and don't necessarily want to leave the country. You know, this is incredible. You know, I didn't know about it. This has all been a learning experience for me, and I treasure it. And I'm going to pass it on as much as I can.